श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। श्रीमत्क्षीरतरङ्गिणीतटगते पुण्ये विरिञ्चेः पुरे नित्यं सन्निहितं किलाकलयितुं क्षीराभिषेकादरं श्रीगारुत्मतवल्लिका सहचरं मार्गे सहायं नृणां श्रीमद्दीक्षितविप्रदैवतवरं संचिन्तये शङ्करम्। Dear listeners, on this sacred day of Shankara Jayanti on 28 April 2020, and this year being the 500th year of Srimad Appaya Dikshitendra's Jayanti, I would like to share some of my thoughts recounting the personality of Dikshitendra as one of the foremost followers of Sri Shankara Bhagavatpada. A survey of the works of Dikshitendra shows that the already enriched tradition of Shankara Bhagavatpada was further enriched by him. Words are inadequate to describe the great Srimad Appaya Dikshitendra's accomplishments as an Advaita Vidyacharya. I will, however, brief upon 6 of his glorious works in Advaita Vedanta, each one of which is a monumental contribution to the tradition. Born in a family of distinguished scholars of Advaita Vedanta, he studied the Sutra Bhashyam of Bhagavatpada from his own father, Sri Rangarajadhvari, who was a Nityagnihotri, a Vishvajidyaji, and a celebrated Advaita Vidyacharya. Shastra Ratnakara Polaham Sri Ramashastrigal says in his introduction to his own work in Vedanta, known as Chaturmata Samarasyam, he says, there are 4 well-known systems of philosophy, namely Advaita, Shivadvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita. They are associated respectively with the adored names of Sri Shankara Bhagavatpada, Sri Srikantacharya, Sri Ramanujacharya, and Sri Madhvacharya. Sri Bhagavatpada expounded the philosophy of Advaita, which is chronologically the earliest of these philosophies, through his Brahma Sutra Bhashyam. That philosophy, which is in accord with the teachings of the Upanishads, instructs in the knowledge of Brahman, which is non-different from the Atman. Such knowledge, which implies the sense of the unreality of the world and is the means to moksha through the knowledge that Brahman, non-different from the Atman, can be acquired only by those who have the fourfold qualification. But all are not qualified for this pursuit of knowledge on non-qualified Brahman. It requires a concentration of mind which will bring about direct intuition by constant meditation on it. For those who cannot concentrate, Sri Srikantacharya, who came next, taught through his commentary on the Brahma Sutras the philosophy of Shivadvaita. In it, he has detailed the way of upasana of the non-differentiated Saguna Brahman, that is of the nature of Shiva, qualified by Shakti, and which will give the power to meditate with concentration on what is non-qualified. Then appeared Sri Ramanujacharya, who propounded through his Brahma Sutra Bhashyam the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita. This is intended for those who do not have the qualification for even the Saguna Brahma Bhedopasana method taught by Sri Kantacharya. To help them acquire that qualification, Sri Ramanujacharya taught the way of reflecting on the relation between the Jiva and Brahman after the manner of the Sharira and Shariri in organic inseparability as the owned and the owner. This is the Dasamarga taught in the Puranas and the Itihasas and speaks of Vishnu as the highest. After that came Sri Madhvacharya, for those who cannot meditate in the manner of Sharira Shariri relation of organic inseparability. To help them to acquire that qualification, he taught the philosophy of Dvaita in his Brahmasutra Bhashyam, establishing the separateness between Jiva and Brahman, with the consciousness of the owned and the owner, but without the sense of the Sharira Shariri relationship. According to Sri Madhvacharya too, Vishnu is the highest. Advaita and other philosophies are propounded in the descending order of gradation to provide for persons of descending grades of qualification and capacity. Similarly, as a person acquires higher degrees of qualification, the higher philosophies and practices prescribed in them are correspondingly set forth. That this is so is clearly brought out by Sri Appaya Dikshita in his Chaturmata Sara Sangraha as follows. आनंद तीर्थ मुनि लक्ष्मण देशिकेन्द्र श्रीकंठ योगी पदवीरद वीयसीर्णः आचार्य पाद सरणिं च विविच्य बोद्धुं संगृह्यते मतचतुष्टय सारलेशः. He indicates the gradation of the several philosophies starting with the Dvaita of Ananda Tirtha Muni, Sri Madhvacharya, proceeding through the Vishishtadvaita of Lakshmana Deshikendra, Sri Ramanujacharya, and Sri Srikantacharya, and culminating in the Advaita of Acharya Pada, Sri Shankara. The clubbing together of the names of Ananda Tirtha Muni, Lakshmana Deshikendra, and Sri Srikantacharya in the first half of the shloka is intended to show that the three philosophies propounded by them are alike in expounding the means at different levels as upasana margas to the last, namely Advaita, which is achieved by Jnana Marga. Purposing to expound these philosophies, Sri Dikshita does so in the order indicated in the sections respectively called the Nyaya Muktavali, Nayamayukhamalika, Nayamanimala, and Nayamanjari. As pointed out by Polaham Sri Ramashastrigal, Dikshitendra has used the word Acharya Pada here to refer to Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada separately, and this usage is worthy of careful meditation. He is impressing on us that none but Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada is his Acharya. The best legacy Dikshitendra has left the Smarta community are the following works on Advaita Vedanta: Siddhantalesha Sangraha, Nayamanjari, Kalpataru Parimala Vyakhyanam, Nyaya Rakshamani, Upakrama Parakrama, and Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam. Let us have a look at these works of Dikshitendra in Advaita, through which he has expressed variety and creativity in teaching the Shastra to his disciples while having a firm faith in the words of Bhagavad Pada. Shastra Siddhanta Lesha Sangraha is a treatise which sheds light on the doctrinal differences among the different schools of thought in Advaita Vedanta. The words used by Dikshitendra in the first shloka of the text reminds us that although he might have spent years of exertion on expounding the Shivadvaita Vedanta of Sri Srikantacharya, it is the study of Bhagavad Pada's Sutra Bhashyam that will bring an end to material existence. This is the first shloka. Adhigata bhidapurvacharyanupetya sahasradha saridiva mahibhedan samprapya shauripadodgata jayati bhagavatpada shriman mukhambujanirgata jananaharani suktihi brahmadvaika parayana. just as river Ganga that has originated from the foot of Lord Vishnu and which destroys material existence, undergoes multiple changes as it flows through different landforms, the Sukti or exposition that has originated from the Mukhambujam of Bhagavat Pada, whose ultimate purport is the Advaya Brahman, and which destroys material existence, has undergone multiple changes as it has approached the Purvacharyas. The word Jayati here means it excels, it shines forth with all its glory. Nayamanjari, which forms the fourth part or Paricheda of Chaturmatasara Sangraha, is an independent commentary on the Brahma Sutras and is a very rare one of its kind. Paricheda 1 of Chaturmatasara Sangraha is named as Nyaya Muktavali, and Dvaita Vedanta is explained here in Parichedam 2 named as Nayamayukhamalika. The Brahma Sutras are commented upon from the Vishishtadvaitic perspective. In the third Paricheda named as Nayamanimala, the Brahma Sutras are commented upon from a Shivadvaitic perspective. Dikshitendras even handed justice to all the four schools of Vedantic thought by representing in a flawless and lucid way the philosophy of his opponent Sampradaya in the clearest manner possible without disclosing his own personal inclination in the least is the distinguishing mark of his Pandityam. Chaturmatasara Sangraham bears testimony to his being a Sarvatantra Swatantra by his own definition given in the Sanskrit commentary on the celebrated Sri Vaishnavacharya Swami Vedanta Deshikar's Yadavabhyuday Mahakavyam. Dikshitendra says in the Vyakhyanam, Sarveshu Tantreshu Siddhanteshu Nyaya Vaisheshika Purvottara Mimamsa Sankhya Yoga Shaiva Vaishnavadishu Swatantrasya Svechaya Kanchidartham Sthapayitum Dushayitum Va Shaktasya. In the Nayamanjari, only the first sutra of every adhikaranam has been commented upon by Dikshitendra, and each sutra, that is each adhikaranam, is represented by at least two shlokas. The first shloka puts forth the Purva Paksha, and the second shloka puts forth the Siddhanta. Dikshitendra adheres to Shankara Bhagavad Pada's view in Nayamanjari. The unique beauty of Nayamanjari is that it is written in 386 shlokas that are composed in 182 different vrittams or meters. It is a matter of perplexity that Dikshitendra has used many vrittams that are very rare and could not be easily found even in the standard Sanskrit books. In his introduction to Nayamanjari, in the Vani Vilas edition, Sri Sachidananda Tirtha Swamigal of Mulbagal makes the following remark on the intellectual prowess of Dikshitendra. दीक्षितेन्द्रैरेव ग्रन्थारम्भे स्वप्रतिज्ञावाक्येन प्रादर्शि एकोत्र पूर्वपक्षश्लोकसैद्धान्तिकस्त्वपरः एवं प्रत्यधिकरणं भिन्नैर्वृत्तैरियं क्रियते इति. एवं भिन्नभिन्नवृत्तघटितेषु पद्येषु तत्तदधिकरणार्थानां सौलभ्येन प्रदर्शनात् अतिः नाम आविष्कृतं छन्दःशास्त्रमर्मज्ञत्वं दीक्षितेन्द्रैः अतितरां च तदनुगुणशब्दसन्निवेशघटनापाटवम् अतितमां च बृहत्तमब्रह्ममीमांसा महासाम्राज्य सर्वस्वातन्त्र्य निर्वाहक सार्वभौमत्वम्. अहो महदेतदाश्चर्यं यदेवम् एकेनैव प्रयत्नेन छन्दस्साहित्य मीमांसाशास्त्रेषु अथवा सर्वशास्त्रेषु असाधारणी नैपुणी समकालमेव प्रादर्शि दीक्षितेन्द्रैः। किम् अयमेक एव तदीयनिबन्धः विपश्चितामाश्चर्यलहरीभिः चेतश्चमत्कारमातनोति। अहो नु परश्यताः नूनमेते शङ्करगणांशभूताः एव इति दीक्षितोऽपि भवेत् कश्चित् शैवश्छन्दोगवंशजः इत्यादि शिवरहस्य वचनं नांशतोऽपि संशयास्पदं भवति। भिन्नभिन्नवृत्तघटितेषु पद्येषु तत्तदधिकरणार्थानां सौलभ्येन प्रदर्शनात् by explaining the meaning of each adhikaranam effortlessly in verses composed in many different meters, atihi nama avishkritam छन्दश्शास्त्रमर्मज्ञत्वं दीक्षितेन्द्रैः. Dikshitendra has expressed his expertise as someone who knows the secrets of the Chandas Shastra, or the art of using vrittams or meters. Atitaram cha tadanuguna shabda sannivesha ghatana patavam. He has also expressed his skills in using words which are in tune with it, the vrittam used in the shloka. Atitamam cha बृहत्तम मीमांसा महाराज्य सर्वस्वातंत्र्य निर्वाहक सार्वभौमत्वम. A rough translation of it goes on like this: he has also expressed himself as a mighty emperor in Vedanta by handling the great empire of Brahma Mimamsa Shastra efficiently. Aho mahadetadaश्चर्यं यदेवं एकेनैव प्रयत्नेन छन्दस्साहित्य मीमांसाशास्त्रेषु अथवा सर्वशास्त्रेषु असाधारणी नैपुणी समकालमेव प्रादर्शि दीक्षितेन्द्रैः. It is a matter of great surprise that Dikshitendra has shown simultaneously, with a single effort, his proficiency in Chandas Shastra, in Sahitya Shastra, and in Mimamsa Shastra. Or to put it in other words, his proficiency in all the Shastras. Kim ayameka eva tadiya nibandhah vipashchitam आश्चर्यलहरीभिः चेतश्चमत्कारमातनोति. Is this the only work of his which inspires awe in the minds of scholars with waves of astonishment? Aho nu parashyataha. It is more than 100 works. Nunamete Shankara Ganamsha Bhutaha eva iti दीक्षितोऽपि भवेत् कश्चित् शैवश्छन्दोगवंशजः इत्यादि शिवरहस्य वचनं नांशतोऽपि संशयास्पदं भवति. The words of Shivarahasyam, which states that he is an incarnation of a Shivagana, certainly gives no space for any doubt. I would like to show you all the Chandas Shastra Marmagnyatvam of Dikshitendra, the Sahitya Shastra Marmagnyatvam of Dikshitendra, and the Vedanta Shastra Marmagnyatvam of Dikshitendra, as pointed out by Shri Sachidananda Tirtha Swamigal. There is a beautiful shloka set in Indravadana meter in Nayamanjari by Dikshitendra in chapter 1 of the Brahma Sutras, Padam 2, in Adhikaranam 2, that is the Yatradhikaranam. Dikshitendra has said the Purva Paksha and Siddhanta shlokas in Indravadana meter. Odana padena khalu bhogyamupalakshyam काठकमनौ न बहिरंगमुपनाश्यम तत्तनुभृदर्हति तदत्रपद वीयः विप्रभुजजात मुखभृत्यकुल भोक्ता. Doesn't this sound similar to the meter used in the famous verses of Tirupugar in Tamil by Sri Arunagirinathar? ஏறுமயிலேறி விளையாடும் முகமொன்றே, ஈசருடன் ஞான மொழி பேசும் முகமொன்றே, கூறுமடியார்கள் வினை தீர்த்த முகமொன்றே, குன்றுருவவேல் வாங்கி நின்ற முகமொன்றே. This is the Siddhanta Shloka. मृत्युरूपसेचनमिहोक्त इति सोऽपि ह्याद्य इतरादन कृतौ च सहकारी तत्सकलमोदनपदेन परनाश्यं लक्ष्यमिति तेन पर एव तु तदत्ता. Let us now compare it with Tirupugal verse. மாறுபடு சூரரை வதைத்த முகமொன்றே, வள்ளியை மணம் புணர வந்த முகமொன்றே, ஆறுமுகமான பொருள் நீயருள வேண்டும், ஆதி அருணாச்சலம் அமர்ந்த பெருமாளே. The next work of Dikshitendra we are going to see is Kalpataru Parimala Vyakhyanam. The Brahma Sutras of Vyasacharya were commented upon by Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada. Bhagavatpada's Bhashyam was commented upon by Vachaspati Mishra, and this commentary is known as Bhamati Tika. Bhamati Tika, which was extremely difficult to understand, was commented upon by Amalananda, and Amalananda's commentary on Bhamati was known as Vedanta Kalpataru. And this Vedanta Kalpataru of Amalananda was commented upon by Dikshitendra, and that commentary is known as Kalpataru Parimala. Sri A.V. Gopalacharya says that the author of the Kalpataru was himself a great Mimamsaka, and he discusses a large number of Mimamsa Nyayas in the Kalpataru. This gives great scope to Dikshita for discussing almost all the Nyayas of the Mimamsa elaborately in the Parimala. Nyaya Rakshamani is an independent commentary on Padam 1 of chapter 1 of the Brahma Sutras. Scholars of our Sampradaya are of the opinion that Dikshitendra might not have been satisfied with writing an exhaustive commentary such as Kalpataru Parimalam, and hence he has taken up the task of writing Nyaya Rakshamani to expound Bhagavatpada's philosophy in a much detailed manner. Some philosophers believe that in the Anandamaya Adhikaranam, Puchhabrahmavada, which has been explained by Srimad Acharya, is not in line with the purport of the sutra. Nyaya Rakshamani of Dikshitendra illustrates in great detail that Bhagavatpada's explanation of Puchhabrahmavada is very much in line with the Sutrakara's purport. The application of the grand doctrinal themes of Purva Mimamsa Nyayas used in this text bears testimony of Khandadeva Acharya's praise for Dikshitendra as a Mimamsaka Murdhanya. To study Nyaya Rakshamani of Dikshitendra requires an extremely hard study of Purva Mimamsa and Vedanta. Since the time of Madhvacharya's appearance, attacks on Bhagavatpada's philosophy were growing rapidly. Such attacks on Advaita rose to their peak when Sri Vyasatirtha Swamigal rose to eminence and started receiving the royal patronage of the kings of Vijayanagar Empire. Three of his works against Advaita, number 1 Nyayamritam, number 2 Tatparya Chandrika, and number 3 Tarkatandavam, are known collectively as the Vyasatrayam. In response to such Madhva attacks on our Acharya's philosophy, many Advaitic saints and scholars took out their cudgels in defense of our Sampradaya. Some of them, who stood in the front lines of the battles against the Madhvas, were Sri Madhusudana Saraswati Swamigal of the north and Srimad Appaya Dikshitendra of the south. Sri Madhusudana Saraswati Swamigal's Advaita Siddhi, which was written as a defense against Nyayamritam of Vyasatirtha Swamigal, is known to many today. But Srimad Appaya Dikshitendra's work Upakrama Parakrama, which was written as a defense against The Tarkatandavam of Sri Vyasatirtha Swamigal is not known to many people today. The last work which we are going to see now is Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam. The word Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam literally means crushing the face of Madhvacharya's philosophy. Here, Dikshitendra makes an attack on Madhva philosophy by commenting upon the first 5 Adhikaranas of Brahmasutram, chapter 1, Padam 1. The 5 Adhikaranams are Jignasadhikaranam, Janmadhyadhikaranam, Shastrayonitvadhikaranam, Samanvayadhikaranam, and the first sutram of Ikshatyadhikaranam. As a Smarta who never shied away from defending Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada from the Madhva attacks, he makes a bold statement at the end of Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam. He says, Adriyadhvamida Madhvadarshanam Vyadhvagam Tyajata Madhvadarshanam Shankaram Bhajata Shashvatam Matam Sadhavassa iha Sakshyumadhavaha. With this I conclude the lecture with the remembrance of two great Avatara Purushas on Shankara Jayanti today and during the 500th year of Dikshitendra's Jayanti, Diname Vedam Sudinam Samajani. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva.